Morning, grade 6. How are you all? Today you're going to be learning Unit 3, Living Things and Their Environment, and we're going to be revising food chains. Your course book page number 41 and your homework is worksheet 6. Along with your course book, I need a copybook also. So if you can go and get it, it's better. You can pause the video and you can get it. What is a food chain? A food chain shows how animals depend on other animals and plants for their food and survival. A food chain can tell you about what animals eat. Plants, they don't eat. They only take the energy from the sun and make the food. So they're called as producers. Now this is a food chain. It starts from seeds, then shroot and fox. How you will draw it? Seeds are a part of a plant. They are a part of a producer. So how does this food chain go? The arrows show the direction in which the energy is transferred. The energy of the seeds, which was eaten by the shroot was eaten by the fox. So the energy was transferred from the seeds to the shroot, from the shroot to the fox. And this is how a food chain shows a transfer of energy. It shows you how energy that a plant got from the sun has been transferred from one animal to another. It's a chain. Consumers or producers. Now, do you remember what consumers or producers are? Let's review. Producers are plants that make their own food. Consumers are animals that eat food. Now, which are producers and which are consumers? I'll give you a moment to think. Now, do you think a rabbit is a consumer? Let's check. Yes, it's a consumer. A lettuce is a consumer or a producer? It's a producer because it's turned green. Lion is a consumer or a producer? Can lion make its own food? No, it eats other animals, so it's a consumer. Broccoli, again, producer or consumer? Producer. Grass, producer or consumer? Producer because it's a plant. Mouse, consumer or a producer? It can make its own food? No, it needs to eat, so it's a consumer. I hope you are quite clear with the term of consumer and producer. Consumers are those which eat, like us. And producers are those which don't eat. They can make their own food, like all the types of plants. Now, which animal is missing in this food chain? As you can see, the arrows are already drawn. Grass is eaten by a grasshopper. Grasshopper is eaten by a shroot. A shroot is eaten by what? Owl or a frog? I think frog. Do you think frog also? No, it's not frog. I'm wrong. It's an owl. If you got it right, it's very good. No, I actually thought it was an owl. I was just joking. Just checking you. The next one. Now, which animal is missing in this food chain? If you had played the game yesterday, you will also know. Carrots are eaten by an animal, rabbits or wolf, and then that is going to be eaten by a fox. Wolf is eaten by a fox? Do you really think? Rabbits. So it's going to be rabbits. If you have thought of rabbits, you're right. It's very good. Because wolves are more stronger than the fox. They cannot eat them. So what have we learned about the food chains? Food chain shows a transfer of energy between living things. The main source of energy in a food chain is the sun. The food chain always begins with the producer. The sun gives its energy out to all the environment. The producers take in that energy. All plants, they use that energy to make their food, and then they are eaten by other animals, and those animals are called as consumers. Animals consume so they're called as consumers. There are three types. If they're eating only plants, they're called as herbivores. If they're eating only meat, they're called as carnivores. And if they're eating both, they're called as omnivores. Can you think of the omnivores that are present? We humans are omnivores because we eat both fruits and vegetables and meat, right? All sorts of meat. Eggs, chicken, fish, meat, beef. These are all meat, and fruits and vegetables are plants. So we are omnivores. Now let's learn about some other part of the food chain. It's connected, but it's called as a predator and a prey. I think you do have an idea of a predator and a prey, but let's reinforce it. Review it again. When animals eat other animals, the animal is called as the predator. You can look in the picture. The bear is a predator. It's eating a fish. That is a prey. That animal that is hunted and killed by the other animal for food is called as a prey. There are many predators and prey in the same food chain also. Let's see. Now can you match the predator to its prey? Which is a very easy one. Cat will eat pineapple, tortoise, or a mouse? Obviously a mouse. What does a tiger eat? A tiger hunts, right? If you remember, or it eats grass, or it eats only deers, or it eats both of them. What do you think? It's a herbivore, carnivore, or an omnivore? It's a carnivore. So what are the two things that are carnivore here? Deer or shark? What do you think the tiger is going to eat? Shark or deer? Deer. You're correct. Now what does a lion eat? A lion is also a very strong predator. It eats meat, so it's a carnivore. Do you think it's going to eat a grasshopper? Grasshopper is also meat. Do you think it's going to eat a fish? Or do you think it's going to eat a zebra? Keep in mind, they live in savannas, the grasslands. Which animals you'll find in the grassland? You'll find fish there? No. So what are you going to find? You're going to find a zebra. You're correct. What does shark eat? Shark is also a carnivore. It eats also meat. So we will skip the grass. It's not going to eat grass. It's not a herbivore. So will it eat rabbits or will it eat fish? Rabbits are found in which habitat? Ocean habitat? No. Which animals do you find in the ocean habitat? Fishes. So they eat fishes. You're correct. The top of the food chain. Now you must have seen there are some animals which are not eaten by other animals. They are not hunted. They are the most strongest. So they are called, and so they are at the top of the food chain. For example, lions, even sharks, even tigers, they go and hunt other animals. So they are at the top of the food chain. Nobody can eat them. They are the strongest. Right? And this is the reason why. Can you think of any other reason? Let's do a small food chain quiz. Let me review how much of you have understood the topic. So what do all food chains start with? They start with a producer. Very good. Name a predator and its prey. Can you think of any? I just saw the video right now. What do you think? Any predator and prey relation you found? A bear and a fish, a fox and a rabbit. Did you get the same examples or something else? Are penguins the prey of polar bears? Do you think penguins are the prey of polar bears? Where do the polar bears live and where do the penguins live? No. Penguins live in the Antarctic, that means the South Pole, and the polar bears live in the Arctic, that means the North Pole. So they are not the prey of polar bears. Can you give me an example of a consumer that makes honey? Think. It's a small insect, yellow and black in color. Think. A bee. If you've got it right, it's very good. Can you think of an example of a food chain including a fox? There was one in the video also. Can you think of something else, or are you going to use the same? You can pause the video and write it down. Grass is eaten by the rabbit, rabbit is eaten by the fox, and fox is eaten by the bear. That's good if you've got one right. Now name a producer eaten by a rabbit. I just showed you one food chain. Let's see, what have you got right? Cabbage, carrot and grass. It eats many other plants also. Now what do the arrows in the food chain show? This is really important, you should be knowing it. What do the arrows in a food chain actually show? They show the energy flow, or they show eaten by. For example, grass is eaten by a grasshopper. Grasshopper is eaten by a frog. Frog is eaten by a snake. Snake is eaten by an eagle or an owl. So this is a food chain. Now I want you to open your course book, page 41, and write down question number 4. You can look at the picture also. Question number 4 is a picture of a savanna or a grassland. Look at the drawing of the food chain that ends in a hawk up. Which organism is the producer in this food chain? Can you think of it? If you have already thought, let's see the answer. Grass, that's very good. Which organisms are the consumers in this food chain? I want all the consumers, the first, second and the third. Let's see your answers. Check your answers with me. A cricket, spider, a small bird and a hawk. The same question we're going to repeat again as I repeated for you in the quiz. What do the arrows in the food chain show? The direction the energy passes from one thing to another, or it also shows what is eaten by. Question number 5. The lions in the photograph on page number 41 have killed a zebra. How are the lions adapted to live in this environment? For this you can have many answers. I'll be giving you all the options. You can choose any one and you can write it down. How they have adapted themselves. This is adaptations. They have long strong paws and teeth to kill other prey. They have a golden fur which can camouflage them and against the dry grasses. Camouflage, if you remember, it's to hide and cannot be seen in the same habitat. They can run very fast to catch the prey. These are all its adaptations of a lion, so it can live in the grassland. They have a good eyesight, hearing and sense of smell which helps them to find the prey. You can choose any one of them and write it in your copybook and write it with a blue pen. You know how you have to do it. Question number B. Question number 5. B. What are the 3 characteristics of living things? Do you know what the characteristics of living things are? Can you remember them? Mrs. Nurge, do you remember? You can choose any 3 of them. Growth, movement, reproduction, excretion, sensitivity, nutrition, respiration. Any 3, okay? See, you can draw a food chain from the picture given. I'll give you one example. Grass, zebra and lion. If you can see any other one or you can think any other one in the same grassland habitat, you can do it yourself. That's going to be a bonus plus mark. And I want you to send me pictures of your course book also. I want you to see you doing your work. Name two different producers that you can see in the photograph. Can you see any two producers there? Grass and trees. Now after you finish, I want you to finish homework worksheet number 6, and then you're going to send it to me on Horizon or on WhatsApp. And I hope you have a great day. I miss all of you. I would love to see you in school. So I hope to see you soon, and have a great day. Stay indoors, stay safe, and pray for yourself and for your family that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala finishes this epidemic. Take care. Bye bye.